prime time. This is victory. We are the chosen ones. We're making history. We'll show you what we got. Give everything we have. Every sweat, blood, and tear. Every last breath. We put up a fight until the last man, until the last day, until our last dance. We are here giving everything and more. To seize the opportunity, you know that we will score. This is victory.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you may be in the world. And welcome to the Nürburgring for race number 2 of the Next Gen Cup. We had race number 1 earlier on this morning, and oh boy, is it great to be back. Like I said this morning, great weather on the forecast, and great weather we got at the moment. It is 27 degrees outside, and it's a 26.2 degree track temperature. Great conditions to go racing at this so famous and beautiful Nurburgring. What happened then in race number 1 earlier today? Well, yeah, a bit boring, isn't it? Lucas Stiefelhagen continued his winning streak. It's now 4 wins in a row, but it wasn't easy. Had to fight with it together with Lennart Wolf, 7th in the championship, Lennart Wolf. He is only, and I say only, 15 points behind P4 in the championship, Julian Wörtele. But, well, Lucas Stiefelhagen, 74 points clear in the championship. The battle behind that is as fierce as ever. Philip Dietrich in 2nd, ahead of Maxim Dache in 3rd in the championship. Those two divided by 3 points in the championship. Our starting grid then for this race, it's Pit Venanzi on the pole position alongside Benjamin Mazatis, the number 35. They are together on the first row of the grid. Julian Wörtele and Alex Gustafsson from the 2nd row of the grid. Alex Gustafsson, once again, he was very close to a podium in the first race. Sadly, couldn't quite get there once again, but hopefully for him, starting from P4 now, with the pace that he showed in the race earlier, it is possible to finally get that illustrious podium that he so is longing for and that he so deserves. Maxim Dache and Philip Dietrich form the 3rd row of the grid. Maxim Dache and Philip Dietrich, like I said, divided by 3 points, favouring the man that is on your screen at the moment, by 3 points in the championship. Then on the 4th row of the grid, it's Lennart Wolf and Lucas Stiefelhagen, your 2nd and 1st place finishers of the first race this morning. And on the 5th row of the grid, we have Bennett Earl and Misha Sharoden, who had to drive a comeback race in race 1. Had a moment into turn 3, spun round, was up into P10 at the time of that spin, fell back down to P14 and had to fight his way all the way back up to P10 again. Talking about someone who also had to drive a comeback race, it was Maxim Dache, was up there for the fight for the podium, was on the podium for a little while actually in that race. For him as well, there was contact in turn 1, which put him to the rear of the field, and just like he did at the Nürburgring, he managed to climb back up, all the positions lost and even more. Row 6 of the grid is Siri Höckfeldt alongside Theo Vida. And row 7 of the grid is Andreas Kapfinger and Vera Jurland. Vera Jurland, youngest driver on the grid, 13 years of age. And Andreas Kapfinger cannot use his legs, so he drives with a ring on the steering wheel. That's what he controls the throttle with. And then there's a handbrake on the right-hand side of the steering wheel that controls the brakes. It doesn't work exactly like a handbrake would work in a normal car. It controls all four corners of the car, just like a normal brake pedal would. A lot of innovation has gone into that system, and it's amazing to see it being used in these NXT's LRT1 cars, the Next Gen Cup cars. Row 8 of the grid is Linda Frey alongside Vivian Earl. And row 9 of the grid is Patricia Stalizzane. Still don't know what happened to her in turn 1. However, something happened. She had to park the car on the outside of turn 2, and that race was done for her. DNF, the second this season, together with a DNS because of a battery fault at Ossersleden. It's been a unlucky season for Patricia Stalizzana, to say the least. However, the 30-second board has long gone into the air. We're waiting for the 5 red lights to illuminate on the gantry to finally start race number 2 here at the Nürburgring on this Saturday. Tomorrow, one more race. First, though, we focus our eyes on the 5 red lights. They're on as soon as they're out. We're underway in racing. That's now. It's a good start from our pole sitter, Pit Venanzi. Benjamin Mazat is alongside him. And Pit does exactly what Lucas Stiefelhagen did earlier this morning. Covers off Benjamin Mazat's extremely defensive line. Benjamin Mazat sticks behind him, gives him no room to move. Back to the racing line, keeps him tight all the way around the outside. Is this Greenbow Laget car. Also Philip Dietrich involved in that. Alex Gustafsson at the moment up into the podium. He's gone past Julian Wörtele. Better start for Alex Gustafsson, already up the inside of Benjamin Mazatis. He's punchy, is Alex Gustafsson, and he wants this podium, and he knows he needs to be quick to try and create himself a gap. Pit Venanzi, I talked to him earlier before this race, and he says, I think a top 3 is possible. Hasn't been on the podium yet this season, is new this season as well. So for him, it would be a massive feat if he can get up onto the podium. That attempted move on Benjamin Mazatis from Alex Gustafsson didn't work out, as that's Maxim Dacha going for a bit of rallycross together with the number 22, I think, of Lennart Wolf. Yes, it is Lennart Wolf. Andreas Kapfinger and Ver Jurland also behind that. Pretty wide coming out of the Kurzanbindung. And still, it's Pit Venanzi leading with a bit of a gap now. Benjamin Mazatis and Alex Gustafsson fighting to over second place, and that's allowing Pit Venanzi to create himself a nice little gap at the front of the field. Julian Wörtele has stayed in P4 after that. Maxim Dacha, though, now coming through. Alex Gustafsson, decisive move. Benjamin Mazatis has to cut the corner. The question is, does he stay ahead of Alex Gustafsson? The answer is yes, he does. We'll have to see a replay to see if Alex Gustafsson had that move done. Anyways, Benjamin Mazatis could get done there for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. It might not matter though. Good slipstream onto the straight for Alex Gustafsson in the background. It is Lucas Stiefelhagen also trying to come through to continue his winning streak. That's at 4 at the moment. 3 races at the Nürburgring and 1 race at the Nürburgring so far, but it's going to be a difficult race. 3 wide in the turn 1 in the background. That becomes 2 wide coming out of it. Lennart Wolf is involved in it. Maxim Dacha on the inside of Lucas Stiefelhagen, who smartly backs out of that one. But 3 wide into turn 1 for the championship leader. Has to keep his car clean. Philip Dietrich has also dropped back after his first lap heroics. Lennart Wolf tried to make his way around the outside of the number 7 of Julian Wörtele, who's also climbed a couple of positions from the opening lap to now. But Alex Gustafsson has got it done on Benjamin Mazatis. He's now into P2 and he can go and chase down Pit Venanzi. And is there more in there then for Alex Gustafsson than just that illustrious podium? That's what he'll be asking himself now. The task is clear. Catch back up to Pit Venanzi without using push to pass, and you're in a great spot. Watch out that you don't fight too much and allow the drivers rearwards to close up as well. Julian Wörtele, as it looks like, has used one of his push to passes already going on to the straight, because at start finish he was 7th. Coming out of turn 1 he was 4th. To the inside goes Lennart Wolf of Julian Wörtele. Maxim Dacha trying to follow his way through side by side through the chicane is never a good idea. The cutback though for Maxim Dacha gives him the inside for the last corner. Coca-Cola, is it going to be a prey for Maxim Dacha? It is, and with that, all the gain that Julian Wörtele had at start-finish with that push-to-pass has been undone within the span of 2 corners. And he's going to have to try that all over again. Meanwhile, though, Alex Gustafsson has caught back up to Pit Venanzi. Is he going to go for a move already? Lap 3 of 8. Looking to the outside of him, but decides to stick behind for now. Further back, it's Philip Dietrich, who just got past Julian Wörtele. I think, no, it's Lucas Stiefelhagen who just got past in the orange car. Hankook car getting past Lucas Stiefelhagen. That's Philip Dietrich. Julian Beutel is still ahead of those two, but Lucas Stiefelhagen, championship leader, struggling at the moment. Not as easy to get back through the pack as I think he would have hoped, but it's great to see. All of these drivers were quite similar paced. And in the background, Patricia Stalizzane has already gotten past Michel Chardin and Sidi Höckveld. Those two had an amazing fight earlier in race number 1, but they now have to look at the rear end of Patricia Stalizzane's car. She's already made her way back up to 9th for P17 on the grid. P17 now occupied by Andreas Kapfinger. Haven't seen what happened to him. He was 15th at the start of this lap, with quite a bit of a gap as well to Vivian Earl at the rear of the grid. Alex Gustafsson now going for a move though on Pit Venanzi. This could be decisive in this race. He gets the move done, but it checks everyone up. That allows the Alpha 1 car of Benjamin Mazatis to get back to the inside of Alex Gustafsson. We're going to go 3 wide into Coca-Cola. The inside for Benjamin Mazatis, and he gets through. And P1 for a second now that he had it turns into P3 again. 2 banks and 2 wide onto the straight. Pit Venanzi looking to the outside of Alex Gustafsson to make it 3 wide. And is that Leonard Wolf trying to look for a move of the inside of Benjamin Mazatis? It's Maxim Dacha looking for a move of the inside of Leonard Wolf instead. And Alex Gustafsson gets the both of them. A good exit now is crucial, else you're going to be stuck on the outside of turn 2. And that's not a great place to be. And Alex Gustafsson also realizes that into the grass for Leonard Wolf. Still on the outside though, Alex Gustafsson. But great race, and look at the pack, it's still quite close. At the moment, it's the top 9, all within about 2 seconds of each other. No one can run away with this one. It's going to be smart driving that's going to decide this race. The outside for Leonard Wolf, not the way round this time. Leader of the race as we speak, Benjamin Mazatis has never won a race in the NXT Gen Cup. What is possible for him? Best finishing position for Benjamin Mazatis in the NXT Gen Cup was a 7th place last season. But of course, he got that podium at the Nürburgring, which he didn't get to stand on because he got that after the race. But here's that move that gave Alex Gustafsson P1. It took the momentum from both him and Pit Venanzi. And that allowed Benjamin Mazatis to creep up the inside. He was able to brake later into the last corner. Then Leonard Wolf and Maxim Dacha made their way through. Oh, here comes a move from Maxim Dacha. This is a replay. This is the move for the lead of the race. And Maxim Dacha has made his way through on Benjamin Mazatis. Maxim Dacha, winner of race 2 at Oschersleben. After that has had 3 more second place finishes. 2 more second place finishes, excuse me, and 1 third place finish. So for him, a victory would be very, very welcome. Up the inside goes Benjamin Mazatis of Alex Gustafsson. Leonard Wolf trying to follow him through. Is the cutback possible for Alex Gustafsson? None of these drivers so far have used push to pass. Patricia Stalizzane is also up to P8. She has used one of her push to passes though. The advantage for her is that Julian Beutel behind her has also done theirs. There's debris on the track. There's a bollard on the track. Car number 99 gets a 10-second time penalty that's added to its race result for causing a collision. That is Vera Jurland, and that might explain why Andreas Kapfinger fell all the way down. But Vivian Earl also in the pits now. Might have been contact with Vivian Earl, who knows? As Benjamin Mazatis is still in second. Gustafsson now in third. Wolf is in fourth. Stiefelhagen has made his way back up to P5 though. Pit Venanzi has dropped all the way back to 6th after leading most of the opening phase of this race. But the fighting that these 4 drivers are doing is allowing Maxim Dacha to create himself a nice and handy gap. Lucas Stieflagen up the inside now of one car, up the inside of two cars going into the last corner, and up to the podium goes Lucas Stieflagen. What's possible still for him? 3 laps left. Gap for Maxim Daga, 1.5 seconds. I don't see them close that without using a push to pass. And using a push to pass would, well, at this phase in the race with Maxim Daga still having 2 left as Lucas Stieflagen goes from up the inside of Benjamin Mazatis. Benjamin Mazatis managing to hold the inside for turn 2. And with that, holds P2 in the race, hangs on to it. The cutback though from Lucas Stieflagen is strong. Inside for turn 3 will become the outside for turn 4, but he's got the move done before that. This is the debris that I saw earlier on. A safety car would close everything up now. That would be a nightmare scenario for Maxim Daga. Lucas Stieflagen now, if he wants to continue his 4-race winning streak and being unbeaten in the last 5 sessions that we've had, the last 5 competitive sessions, he will need to do that now. Who was it? Oh, it was Philipp Dietrich who took that cone and put it onto the track. Into the gravel goes Maxim Daga. He's pushing. He knows that a wild Lucas Stieflagen is arriving behind him soon. The battle for the podium, though, might hold even more than the victory for Maxim Daga, because Alex Gustafsson, this is his 3rd season of competing, his 2nd full season of competing, and he is longing for that podium. But he's been in this position many times before. As Philipp Dietrich looks to the inside of Pit Venanzi, very defensive move from Pit, and with that manages to keep him behind him. Patricia Zane looking to make her way up the inside of Julian Wörtele. That's the fight for P8. Gap has come down to 1.1 seconds. Lucas Stieflagen with the slipstream of Maxim Daga, and no fighting to think of behind him, is closing that gap hand over fist. 8/10 gained the last lap by Lucas Stieflagen. If he can do that again, he'll be right on the rear bumper of Maxim Daga. With the same amount of push to passes left, that will be a straight race to the finish line. Maxim Daga, with the result at the moment, would go ahead of Philipp Dietrich in the championship. Julian Wörtele would lose crucial points to Alex Gustafsson, who would end up in P4. Benjamin Mazatis would gain crucial points towards that battle for 4th place. First sector of the racetrack, another 2/10 gain for Lucas Stieflagen. Good exit for Alex Gustafsson. He's had 4th place finishes before. He's been in this position before. He wants more, and you can see that by the body language of the car. Outside, you're never going to make a pass around the outside of there unless you've got some drastic overspeed on the car ahead, which in cup racing will never be the case. Lucas Stieflagen, what's the gap at the line? He's closed up again, that's for sure. He can use the slipstream. Final lap boards out. Lucas Stieflagen flashes his lights at Maxim Daga in an attempt to maybe distract the German. And he closes up and a couple of meters again going into the braking zone of turn 1. Oh, contact that was between Mr. Chardin, I think, and Julian Wörtele. Mr. Chardin now, though, is up to P8. If this would have been race 1, that would have been a reverse grid pole position. Not quite this time round. Philipp Dietrich sending it up the inside of Julian Wörtele. But the battle for the lead is on. Lucas Stieflagen has closed the gap to Maxim Daga. He's worked hard for this. He looks to the outside of the Kurzanbindung. Has to brake lane if he wants to make this stick. He can't do it quite yet. Alex Gustafsson has used the push to pass to get away from Benjamin Mazatis. I have a feeling he might use another one coming on to the straight, exiting the Ad van Bogen. 5/10 gained, over 5/10 gained by Lucas Stiefhagen in just the first sector of the racetrack. But the question is, where can he overtake him? He's got to use the slipstream here. Better exit for Lucas Stiefhagen. Earlier usage of push to pass, it will last longer for Maxime Daga. But the inside for the chicane, there's side-by-side contact. Door banging, mirrors are banging. But Lucas Stiefhagen sends it up the inside of the chicane. Maxime Daga breaks later, and he makes the move. Stick around the outside. I said earlier, you're not going to make a pass around the outside of the chicane. Maxime Daga said, hold my beer. Watch me make it stick around the outside, and he did. One final chance up for Lucas Stiefhagen is the exit of the final corner. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Who's going to get it? Lucas Stiefhagen at the moment ahead of Maxime Daga, and he gets it. He continues his winning streak. 5 races in a row, and this for sure was the most difficult of them all. Maxime Daga finishes second to Lucas Stiefhagen, who hasn't led a single lap of this race except the last one. But Alex Gustafsson behind that finally gets that illustrious podium. Benjamin Mazatis fought hard, but couldn't quite keep the Swede behind him. And finally, for Alex Gustafsson, he'll get to take a trophy home for all the effort he's put in. But what a finish this was. The outside, the line of choice, forcing Maxime Daga tighter going into the last corner, getting the cut back on the exit, earlier on the push to pass. And Lucas Stiefhagen, my oh my, wins his 5th race in a row. Championship leader shows why he's leading that championship. Maxime Daga, though, with that finish, goes ahead of Philipp Dietrich in the championship. Philipp Dietrich finishes 6th in this race. Behind Lennart Wolf, ahead of Pit Venanzi, though, Patricia Stalizzane made her way all the way up to P8 from P17. Misha Chardin, after that incident in 3 wide into the last corner, and that didn't quite fit that time round. Looked like there was contact with Julian Wörtele, but somehow look at the drift. Look at the angle on that car. Yeah, there was contact between him and Julian Wörtele. Look at the angle. It's a 90-degree angle into the corner. They say you should get most of your turning done while the car is at its lowest speed at the apex. But Misha had different ideas here, trying some different racing lines. Lucas Stiefhagen, though, here's the result for you. Lucas Stiefhagen wins ahead of Maxime Daga. And Alex Gustafsson finally on the podium. Benjamin Mazatis in 4th, that of Lennart Wolf in 5th, Philipp Dietrich in 6th. Pit Venanzi started the race on pole, comes no further than 7th. Patricia Stalizzane from 17 to 8. What a drive it was for her. Sidi Högfeldt had a great fight once again with Beneder and Misha Chardin. Came to contact, though, at the last lap of the race. Theo Vida in 12th, that of Linda Frey in 13th. Andreas Kapfinger in 14th, Vera Jurland 15th. 16th is Julian Wörtele. After that contact with Misha Chardin, something seems to have happened there. And Vivian Earl with a DNF. Whew, time to calm down then for a little. But once again, another masterclass of staying calm and picking your battles from Lucas Stiefhagen. His driver coach there. And there he is, Alex Gustafsson on the roof of the car. Please take it back out. There you go. That's how you do that. That's how you celebrate. Finally, his time has come. It's a podium for Alex Gustafsson. You can see what it means. All the effort that he's put in the last 3 years to make the transition from rallycross to road racing have finally paid off. It was a long time to come, and he's finally gotten it. Maxime Daga will feel hard done by. It will hurt, it will sting, but he can be happy with the race he drove. Maxime Dacha starting from P5 on the grid to P2.
Dat is vet, hè? Van 8 naar 1. Hey Lucas, vanuit jongen. Hartstikke mooi.
One of our partners, Tjeerd Huytema, congratulating Lucas Stiefelhagen. Let's hope that Toby is in time this time and he doesn't have to run to the podium. But it does look like he's there. Here he is. It's time for the podium, and we start with probably the happiest of them all. And that is the man who finally got his illustrious podium. It's Alex Gustafsson with an incredible race. Was smart and got the podium that he so deserved. Second place, that it will sting. It won't be the second place he wanted. But Maxime Dacha can still be happy with his second place, moves to second place in the championship as well. And then, well, who can beat him? At the moment, it's nobody. Lucas Stiefelhagen puts himself once again on the top step of the podium. When, oh when, will this streak end, and who can stop Lucas Stiefelhagen? That was your Dutch national anthem for winner Lucas Stiefelhagen.
Dann kommen wir zu den Pokalen, überreicht von Uwe von Podium Antennas Distributor INE vom Drittplatzierten für Alex Gustafsson.
Our partners once again handing out the trophies. And the first one will be a magical one. Alex Gustafsson finally gets to put something in his trophy cabinet that shows the work that he's put in. And Maxime Dacha will receive, well, probably the second place trophy that he will be most unhappy with. But still, a second place, not too shabby. Lucas Stiefelhagen, his 5th in a row. He knows how to take these ones home. As the drivers pose for the picture, we look to the timing for tomorrow. We have one more race tomorrow at 10:10 local time. And if today's race was anything to go by, then you for sure do not want to miss that. While the drivers celebrate, I say goodbye to you and I welcome you back tomorrow at 10:10 local time. You don't want to miss it. Pole position for Lucas Stiefelhagen again. At the rate he's going, he'll probably take that one home as well. See you tomorrow.
This is victory. We are the chosen ones. We're making history. We'll show you what we got. Give everything we have. Every sweat, blood, and tear. Every last breath. We put up a fight until the last man, until the last day, until our last dance. We are here giving everything.